People with a political agenda are basically the lowest common denominator for a human being. It's just awful. Extreme politics is even worse, but one of the most dishonest subjects that people talk about, because no one has an honest discussion about it, is gun control. And so I can make it pretty easy, to explain. So let's just imagine that every time you bought a car, you got a key to the car, and it came with a small keychain, like it does. And let's just say that on the keychain was a button where all you had to do was point that keychain to someone and press the button, and they would be dead. So that's essentially what some of these guns are. And so does anyone think that would be a good idea, that on your keychain on your car that you would have a button that you could just point at someone and they would be dead immediately? So that that would qualify as a gun. And so not many people, if any, rational people would say that that was a good idea. And so that's the starting point. So you think of the extreme cases and then you work them back from there. So to say that there should be no regulation on guns is ridiculous. So I mean, you might as well have it when you buy a can of soda in the store. You could have a button on that, or a gun attached to that, or you could press a button and it would shoot someone dead. So I mean, you just bring all kinds of scenarios into play where people are going to act impulsively. And that's the main thing about it, is you want to create a cooling off period for people. So if people really want to do harm to someone, you want them to really have to think about it. So the easier you make it for people to snap, or to have road rage, or to have a domestic dispute and kill someone, the better. Because if they have to jump through some hoops to do some hunting, and or to be a sportsman with guns, then so be it. That's the price you pay for making society better off. So but I mean, I try to avoid political topics, but just because it's so dishonest and no one gives an inch. You have the one side, you have the other, and there's never a meeting of the minds. But I think part of the reason for that is because the media, they need to sell advertising, and they just have to create that the negative news, and you can't have a positive story about it where people are agreeing on something. So you have to protect yourself and actually detach from all the big narratives going around. So of course, in the next few months, there will likely be a shooting somewhere, and then the gun topic will come back in. But and there will be every topic has its day, and so you can almost expect with regularity now that there's going to be big shootings multiple times a year. And so you just have to, then you trot out the people on one side who yell at the people on the other side, and it never ends, and it's just pathetic. So, but the bottom line is you want for there to be a little bit of a cooling off period every time someone's in an extreme agitated emotional state where they're thinking about harming someone else or even themselves.